Greetings, folks. This is Poetic. Today's date is February 1st, 2018, on a Thursday. Came across this story, this article that's getting some attention here locally in Southern California. This is a homeless man that was dropped off by the sheriff department out on the street, which is nothing new. In fact, I've recorded a video just like this, and I've shared it on my channel years ago. So if someone out there is listening to this video, can assist me with getting this particular video out, posting it at maybe on Facebook, Live Leak, your YouTube channel, or whatever medium outlet you may have to share this video, I would appreciate it. It says here, controversy and outrage sparked after sheriff's deputies were accused of dumping a homeless man who appears to suffer from mental health issues. This is nothing new, folks. In one of my recent uploads, I mentioned in that video, it can be a difficult task to paint the full picture for you folks out there that do not live in Los Angeles County. This is the norm, folks. If you've lived around Los Angeles County in certain areas, this is very common. So why is the media making a big deal out of this one particular homeless man being dropped off by the sheriff? I have no clue. But again, I'm going to share with you a video that I recorded personally while I was out on patrol and happened to come across this homeless man being dropped off by two sheriff deputies. And I recorded it years ago. I uploaded it. It's very similar to this. In the video, I even share with you how I called 911 for medical attention for the man. So share the videos. If this is something that is getting councilmen upset and they're deciding to do something about the Los Angeles Sheriff Department, and if it's going to assist us with fighting corruption and malfeasance within the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department, then I'm all for it. Please share the videos.
11 controversy and outrage tonight after video surfaces appearing to show LA County Sheriff's deputies dumping a homeless man who also appears to be suffering with a mental issue. NBC4's Beverly White live in San Pedro, where deputies say that video only shows one side of the story. Beverly?
Well, Colleen, the politician who shared that video today to the LA City Council alleges LA sheriffs dropped the ball regarding the barefoot man who was trying to make his way from San Pedro to the San Gabriel Valley.
Here's the sheriffs dropping off a crazy homeless guy.
Narration proves the man who shot this video believes he caught deputies moments after they dumped a homeless man in San Pedro.
Yeah, he looks safe. Yeah. Nice.
This widely shared video also alarmed a city councilman who contends homeless dumping is a troubling part of a regional crisis.
We need to ask ourselves, what are other municipalities do so that, officers and deputies are not forced to drop off those suffering from a mental disability or who are shelter resistant.
The sheriff's department disagrees, saying the deputies performed an act of compassionate service because the man asked for a ride to Pasadena and accepted instead a lift to a bus stop.
While en route to the bus stop area is when the individual asked to be released from the car. He no longer wanted to be with the deputies in the car. The deputies had no reason to detain him against his will, and he had not committed a crime.
LAPD later arrested the man, identified as 54-year-old John Thomas Bryan, on an outstanding $412 warrant for evading transit fares. The politician now wants the deputies investigated.
There's also been an urban myth that the homeless get dropped off in San Pedro, and this was clear evidence that definitely has taken place.
Sheriffs say LA City Fire examined and released John Bryan after citizens complained about him 3 times.
Each one of those calls for service, they made contact with the same individual, and it was determined that no crime was occurring, that the person was not a danger to himself or others, and that person was released.
The county supervisor, Janice Hahn, says she's sending caseworkers to visit John Bryan in jail, while the politician, the councilman, says he expects full cooperation from the LA Sheriff's Department. Reporting live in San Pedro, I'm Beverly White, NBC4 News.
Now let's go to the video that I recorded years ago. That's on my channel. Okay, folks, and here's the video that I'm referring to. So this video I re-uploaded on this new channel, Poetic 2, because my Poetic 1 channel was taken down. Okay? So this video only has 532 views. 532 views, because people don't want to see this kind of stuff. This was uploaded on my Poetic 2 backup channel because I knew my Poetic 1 channel was about to be terminated. So I started uploading some of my older videos here on Poetic 2. And so this video, as you can see, was uploaded June 27th of 2016, but this was recorded years ago. Years ago. I can't remember exactly what year this was recorded. Could have been 2013, 2014, I'm not really sure. So here's the video. And as you can see here, the title says, Dirty Sheriff Deputies Drop Man Who Required Medical Assistance in Alley. How many views? 532 views. Okay? In my opinion, no one cares to see this type of video. Obviously, 532 views. So very true. So one day while I was recording a poorly maintained alley by the city of Gardena, California, I happened to come across this. Now, at the time, the mayor of Gardena was Los Angeles County Undersheriff Paul Tanaka. This is one of the videos that I was talking about the city of Gardena and how poorly maintained the streets were and the alleys. So I would go walk around through the city of Gardena and record these alleys where all this trash was. And on one of the days that I was doing that, this occurred. So this alley is really become ridiculous. A lot of trash dropping back here now. It's funny, all this trash back here. You have a Mercedes sitting right here in the middle of it. So I'm just mentioning how a high-end vehicle is sitting there among all this trash. So as I'm pointing the camera, there's a vehicle at a distance, but I was already turning my camera off. It was one of those old Sony handheld, where it records to disc, little mini disc. So I say it right here. It was indeed a LASD vehicle. I caught it by accident just before I turned off my camera. The sheriff vehicle was now rapidly approaching me. I could not manage to get my camera to come back on quick enough. And I was pressing the button, and this old camera would not turn on. I had a problem with that camera. The two deputies stopped and asked me, hey, what are you doing with that camera? Because they saw me pointing the camera down the alley in the direction where they were dropping off this man, this homeless man. So they wanted to know what I had caught, if I caught it on video. It was at that very moment that I realized that I had possibly caught something shady on video involving these two deputies. My camera is still not turning back on. Okay, I'll wing it, I just thought to myself. So at that point, I'm like, okay, what did I catch? And I mean, are these guys gonna, hit me up here in this alley and my camera's not turning on? So I just kind of played along and played dumb. So what I said was, I'm documenting the poor job that the city of Gardena is doing of keeping their streets clean. Do you see how bad this alley looks? I responded. And one of the deputies, he looked at me with this smug look of relief on his face, and he said, yeah, it sucks, huh? And quickly drove away. I was about to discover why the deputies appeared so concerned pertaining to what it was that I was recording in that alley. So as I walked down to the end of the alley, this is what I discovered. Now, the quality is bad, folks. I understand that it's shaky. I didn't have the best equipment to work with back then. Even now, I don't. But
hey, man, you might want to get out the street.
Guys,
that's what I just saw. I saw the cops come by and mess with you. That's why I was making sure they didn't do anything to you. I'm trying to get you.
As you can see, folks, I mean, I'm recording this off of another camera from the viewfinder of my old Sony Handycam camera. Okay, that's the controls there. So I had quite a few technical issues back in the day that I was working around. But anyway, I still was able to get this footage.
I know, man. What did they tell you, man? Did they hit you? Oh, okay, because I saw him, man. I started recording. I'm hungry. That's it. I got to do something. What did the cops do when they got out of the car? What did they do? They kicked me out. Where did they pick you?
So he's saying he's hungry, folks, and you know, I'm trying to find out what happened to him. Sure, he did have on one of his wrists, he had a hospital wristband on, and it looked like he had been in a fight. And as you can see, he said that they kicked him out. They kicked him out of the car. That's where they left him, right here in the middle of this alley.
Fucking stupid ass motherfuckers, man.
He's talking about the police.
Man. Scoot over here. What happened right here, man? Try to get me something to eat.
This is what else they left. A syringe. This all came. They just discarded all this out of the car.
Do we expect a system made for the elect to possibly judge correct, properly serve and protect, materially corrupt, spiritually amok, oblivious to the cause, prosperously bankrupt?
I'll break my hands, man. So what happened? The sheriff just dropped you off right here in the alley? They already fucked with me. Did they drop you off here?
There's the nod.
I'll scoot, man. You ain't gonna help me.
Only two positions, victimizer.
So he was incorrect. I did call 911 for medical assistance, and I waited.
Yeah, it looks like this guy may actually getting some medical attention in this alley. It took a minute, but they showed up.
We had an ambulance, paramedic here. They had him in the vehicle, taking care of him. And as I'm recording this, the same two deputies that had dropped him off, there they go. It was the same two deputies that had approached him. They were riding back through to see what happened.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Showed up.
Yeah, I saw them as clear as day. It was the same two guys. And they saw me too. And I believe what they did was they heard on the radio the call for the medical assistance, you know, and they came back to see what happened. Okay, folks, so I'll just play the last minute of this video for you, and I'll include a link to this video in the description box. You can go back and watch the full 7 minutes again if you'd like. So here's the rest of the video.
I'm hungry, man. I'll break my hands, man. So what happened? The sheriff just dropped you off right here in the alley? They already fucked with me. Did they drop you off here?
And trust me, folks, it's not like the sheriff department doesn't have other issues to be dealing with than dropping off homeless people in alleys. Although this is San Bernardino County Sheriff, this is a major problem here.
Shows a deputy struggling with a man on the ground on Highland Avenue in an unincorporated area of San Bernardino. After a second deputy arrives to help, it appears the first deputy punches the man in the face. Eventually, the deputies are able to get the man in handcuffs, but they still have trouble getting him to his feet.
Look, he's kicking.
They wrestle with him, it looks like one of the deputies kicks the man multiple times near his head. The 1-minute video has sparked controversy online, but many locals say it's not exactly clear what went on. Sheriff John McMahon says what he saw is enough to start an investigation. The deputy, whose name is not being released, is now on paid administrative leave.
Again, all normal, folks. All normal with the sheriff out here in California. This is Poetic. I'm out.